Hey man, we back. Reacting to another ass Ben Simmons. I'm a Sixers fan, to be honest. At first, I ain't even want to hear nothing he got to say, but I'm going to hear him out. He probably got a bunch of bullshit to say, but you're going to see. This nigga a fucking crybaby.
You spent, I want to talk a little bit about the Hawks series, your last series of playing basketball. But just sort of as like a general sort of overview of spending I
fuck with JJ too.
Basically a year addressing
got the best podcast, the best show,
and sort of going through that process, which is not an easy thing. I've talked about it a ton. I've been through it. It didn't start, I assume, in the Hawks series. But did the events of the Hawks series sort of trigger a deepening spiral or whatever was going on? Did it exacerbate the problem?
I think it was like, I'm already dealing with a lot mentally just in life, as a lot of people do. But it got to a point where after that series, I'm getting it's like from the people that you're supposed to have the support from, or that that comfort from, and I wasn't getting that either. So it was just a lot. It was a toll on me, and then mentally, it killed me. I was like, fuck, like no energy for anything. Like I was in a dark place, and it took me a long time. The first thing for me was like really identify, like, okay, I gotta really.
Niggas just want you to dunk the ball,
it's
bro.
Not a physical thing; it's mentally. And just I think that first thing of acknowledging it is like a huge step for me. And I was like, okay, like I need to address this. I need help in these areas. And being able to do that, that was the start of getting to where I'm at now. I'm like in a great place, and I feel comfortable talking about it now.
Oh yeah,
but those are some dark days for
talking
me.
About why it fell apart in Philly. I want to hear this nigga explain why he think it fell apart.
Like that's the crazier part.
Being a Sixers fan and being from Philly, I ain't gonna say guarantee. Man, I could probably damn near guarantee whatever he gonna say. The reason it fell apart in Philly, that's not why we don't fuck with him. He think we don't fuck with him for probably a multiplicity of reasons. They probably all the opposite of what we think. He be thinking too hard about this shit. This shit is simple. All we want you to do is take a fucking shot, bro. Well, all that Hawks shit. If you was taking shots, that shit wouldn't even matter, bro. But I ain't gonna trip too hard. Let me see what he talking about. Sound passionate about this shit.
But yeah, it's something that's like everyone goes through different struggles. Some bigger than others, but yeah, it's everyone has their own battles, and I think that was tough for me, just knowing like I didn't really have that support either from teammates or whatever it was at that time.
No, call it like it is. Let's call it like it is. Yeah. And you know that I love Joel, and you know that I love Doc, but like they essentially threw you under the bus after Game 7. Like that's.
They always gotta take up for the nigga. It always come down to the same shit, and I would get tired of having to. I ain't gonna say tired of having to have a nigga back all the time, but damn, at least. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be having to go to bat for Ben Simmons all the time because he won't shoot or he won't do this, won't do that. Like, come on, bro. Like, how many times you expect niggas gotta come to your rescue every time, nigga? Sometimes you gotta come to your own rescue. Nigga, just do what the fuck you supposed to do.
That's indisputable.
But I understand that. That was a big stage. That was a crazy moment. So.
Doesn't it just objectively make sense that when you're in a work situation like that, no matter what it is, you would want to leave? Like, I don't know what job you're in where that kind of thing happens, where you would not want to look to do something different. You wouldn't want to just like opt right back into that situation.
I can see why you would say that.
Happens. It feels like everybody should want that. And I understand the dynamics of the NBA and the value of a player like you and everything like that. It's not going to happen overnight.
I mean, you know that athletes aren't human beings, man. We don't operate the same way.
And I think that was part of it too. Like people like, well, let's take his money, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the money. Like I don't care about the money. It's not about the money for me now. Like I want peace and happiness. Like I want to be in a good place.
I can dig that.
If that costs me whatever it's going to cost, that's what it costs. Like my peace is more valuable than money.
No, that's facts.
I don't know the inner workings of everything. Why did you come back for 2 days of practice?
Because I was trying to do the right thing. I was trying to. Which day? What are you talking about? You talking about the day that I got?
The day you came. My understanding is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Again, my understanding is there was a trade request at some point before training camp.
Yeah.
You weren't going to come. Then you ended up coming, and you went a couple days of practice, and then one day Doc kicked you out, and you were texting, probably some girl.
No. Hold on. So
I might have made that last part up.
So people made that up too. I had my jersey in my pocket, in my sweatpant pocket, so they thought it was a phone. I don't know how they thought it was a phone, but that's what that situation was. To clear that up.
Okay. So why did you? Why
did
you?
I was trying to do the right thing, at least, like do right by, whatever the fuck the team.
How the fuck you fold a jersey up? How you fold a jersey that a 6'10" nigga wear up to look like a phone? You know this nigga gotta have an iPhone. You can make a jersey look like this? Come on, bro. I hope he never got a lie to save his life. This nigga.
My teammates, whatever.
Fuck.
Whoever it is, but
Jersey.
Trying to do the right thing, and I just was not in that place to play. Like I wasn't. Like, I just couldn't do it. And I, getting kicked out of that practice that day, I actually spoke to Doc before practice. I was like, Doc, I'm not ready. And mentally, I'm not ready. Please just understand that. I tried to let him know prior, and he's like, well, I'm gonna put you in anyway. I'm like, all right. Told me to get in. I was like, I looked at him like it was like 1 minute into practice, like, man, get in. I'm like, President, no one's doing that. You're doing this on purpose. And that's how I felt too. I was like, okay, so it seems like everyone's just trying to fuck with me now. Like I'm getting fined for like not lifting weights, but physically I'm like one of the strongest guys on the fucking team. So I'm like, now they're finding me for little things, and it was just a build up of, obviously I didn't handle things the right.
Oh, I thought he was gonna talk about why it fell apart in Philly. I thought he was gonna talk about the fans made he feel some kind of way. So it looked like I was wrong, even though we got a little time left, so I might be right. He talking about the motherfuckers inside, telling us a bunch of shit we already knew.
That way, but also the team didn't either, and the people who had that power. But
what's the word? I think it's irreconcilable differences when they talk about divorce. There's not one thing. It's just a buildup of things. Is that sort of how you would describe those 5 or 6 months or whatever it was, 3-4 months, I guess, because it was a longer season because of the COVID stuff. So it wasn't that long of a gap between the Hawks series and training camp. But is that sort of what it was?
Yes and no. Like for me, I was trying to, for myself personally, get to a good place, like to get back on the floor. So it was never even like getting on the floor was my priority, and trying to get myself to a place where I was mentally good to do that. And I was in such a bad place where I was like, fuck, like, I'm trying to get here, and you guys are like throwing all these other things at me to where you're not helping. And that's all I wanted was help. I didn't feel like I got it from coaches, teammates. I won't say all teammates because I had these great guys on that team.
You feel like you use that mental health shit as an excuse.
That, still my friends.
That's what we
felt
felt
like. I got that, and it was just a tough place for me.
Is that
everybody's going through shit, man.
You talked about how this is what you signed up for to a certain extent, something you're going to have to deal with, but I just am thinking about this putting myself in your shoes for a second of like when this kind of thing is happening, and we've talked about all these sort of reports that have come out that haven't been true and everything like that, but it feels like it's a cascading thing where what makes this different, to my point earlier about most jobs, is everything is public and you have no way to respond. So they could say like, everyone flew out to your house in LA and you said fuck off, calling the cops on you and stuff like that. And what are you going to do? You can't respond to every single thing.
This nigga's a multi-millionaire superstar NBA player. How the fuck then he had no way to respond? He could have went on YouTube. This motherfucker could have went on any podcast. He could have went on any NBA program that would have drew crazy ratings. He could have went on fucking ESPN. He could have went on his Insta. Come on, bro. He had no way. JJ, who the fuck is this, bro? Wait, what?
Thing that
I forgot that happened.
But that's all. Yeah, so like so many things happen and people don't really realize.
Did he say that?
You guys were gonna fly out. Now
did he say that?
Point earlier about most jobs is everything is public and you have no way to respond. So they could say like, everyone flew out to your house in LA and you said fuck off, calling the cops on you and stuff like that. And what are you going to do? You can't respond to every single thing that.
I forgot that happened.
But that's all. Yeah, so like so many things happen and people don't really realize like that's not the truth. Like you guys were gonna fly out. Now you want to fly out to the end of when training camp's about to start. Like I was in LA for months. Like no one came. Like no one was there.
Yeah.
Like, you could have came. Like, now you want to make it public that you were flying out? That's bullshit. Like, no one's
They
gonna.
probably assumed that you was gonna just fucking show
come on,
up,
man,
and
like,
when they got close to the
fucking
deadline, they just
like,
wanted to. You know what I'm
There were
saying?
guys in LA that
Possibly.
didn't say anything to me. So it,
Oh,
like,
they. Oh, yeah.
that's irrelevant to me. Like,
If they
there's
was
a
in
lot
LA.
of things that would just get put out, like, that shouldn't have been put out. And those people know, who they are.
As always, thank you
Alright,
for
alright.
listening to the show. Please subscribe.
Admittedly, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought he was gonna say some shit about the fans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wrong. I was tripping, but we just felt like he used that shit as an excuse. Like, it was just convenient. Like, he just pulled that shit out of the hat. Like, if I say this, they can't fuck with me. Man, I think most people can agree on that. But that's here nor there. Thanks for being here watching with me. Until next time, y'all.